it's true. Huh? Hey, it's true. Yeah, it's bloody true. Guess what? Ooh, guess what? Ooh, yeah, it's bloody true. Guys, it is true. See what? We finally got 101 subscribers. Now, actually speaking on my logo, I am thinking of swapping my shirt out, and I might swap my logo. This won't happen for a long time, but just wanted to let you guys know that. Since, you know, I've got over 1 million viewers, so you might be like, what happened? So I just want you guys to know it. Okay. Today, we are going to be reacting to which YouTuber, and we're going to be reacting to is Rexy a hero or a villain? Because we've had this discussion, and I feel like for my 100th special, that should be what we react to. Because it just felt like it would be a good one. I want to do the painting of the Scorpius Rex, but that didn't seem like a 100th special personally. So comment down below if you guys want to see more of this channel. I won't be really right now because James is going to be playing a series for Jam Jam. So I will be taking a break but I did want to make a
the true hero of the franchise, and she has saved Owen and other people from his.
You're a hero! You're a hero, girl! My mama's a hero! She is a hero!
Rexy is the most iconic dinosaur in the entire Jurassic franchise, having appeared in the very first film, and then came back into Jurassic World movies.
Which, to be honest, I liked how she was old, and redesigning her to feel more powerful and more supernatural kind of made me think she was a ghost. Now, I actually have a fear that she's a ghost, and all the times they get saved by other things, and they just imagine it as Rexy because she's their savior. So if you guys ever want me to tell you guys that theory, comment down below.
She is also considered the hero of this franchise, well, in terms of dinosaurs, that is. When to be very honest, Blue is the true hero of the franchise, since she has saved Owen and other people from other
I'd say Owen's the true hero of the franchise.
Dinosaurs, including hybrids that outclass her in almost every way. I guess people consider Rexy a hero because she helped defeat the Indominus, and didn't eat Blue after, when I just think she acknowledged Blue as an ally for now at least, and was way too beaten up to consider a fight with a very agile Blue. But Rexy has also tried to, and has killed people in almost all of the films she was in. So then what exactly is she? Well, I'm gonna discuss that, and also give some dinosaurs who I think could actually be considered heroes in the franchise. Before we do get into that though, I make stuff like this all the time, and even do videos my subscribers recommend in the comments time to time, and if you're into anything prehistoric or animals in general, then you'll love it here. So hit that subscribe button, and watch to the end. You can
oh yeah, and if you're wondering what do I think of the you know, about the girl with the long fingernails, as I said, I don't count her as a hero because she didn't know what she was doing. She was just protecting herself and her land. She didn't even know the place was on fire, so I don't count her as a hero. I'm not trying to make fun of blind people here, but she couldn't even see 2 feet in front of her. She didn't know what was going on, and she didn't even know the island was on fire, so I don't count her as a hero, you know?
Always unsubscribe if the content isn't for you. With yet another
Look, I'm not saying blind people can't be heroes. I mean, look at Daredevil.
Graceful plug over, let's get into Rexy's correct title. Rexy was one of InGen's major assets, and from what we've seen in the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer, may have been the first Rex successfully made after the D-Rex's creation. She was born on Isla Sorna like most of the dinosaurs seen in Jurassic Park and the Lost World, but unlike the Spinosaurus, was seen as an actual potential mascot for the park, instead of an illegal test dummy for experiments. I think we have all seen Jurassic Park, and if you didn't, then you should be locked up. I'm not going to explain Jurassic Park as a whole, or the dinosaurs in it. I'm just mainly going to focus on Rexy herself. Before the park turned to hell, Rexy's main gig was eating a goat, and in the Jurassic World movie, she successfully still does that. I think that's a bit weird, by the way, feeding an animal more than 6 tons of Mach 60.
Yeah, I don't understand. I just think it's fucked up killing an animal, personally.
When Rexy first breaks out due to a power outage, she breaks down the structure of an outdoor toilet and eats Donald while he was doing a number 2. I'm sure if he was constipated before the Rex came, he sure wasn't after. There was the
Okay. I know everyone knows this, but his pants are up. He wasn't pooping, he was just sitting on the toilet. So, I know I'm gonna sound like, of course you dummy, but yeah. He didn't actually shit. He was just sitting on the toilet. So if anybody knows that, he wasn't pooping, he was just sitting.
I'm sure if he was constipated before the Rex came, he sure wasn't after. There was the next scene where she came for Grant and the kids, going as far as to flip a car over the people.
Oh shit, not good.
According to Google, a villain is a character whose evil actions or motives are important to the plot. According to Google, a villain is a character whose evil actions or motives are important to the plot, or basically someone who commits nefarious acts for their own selves.
Okay, I know the first guy, but who's the second guy? I don't know. Comment down below. And did you know ETP445 was almost going to appear in SML? It's funny because in the talk show they actually added him, as a parody when
Serving
he
needs.
said the R word in front of Jeffy. And then Jeffy got so mad he said the N word to his play.
And from everything we have seen, you'd probably think she's a villain, since in Jurassic Park both her and the raptors were portrayed as the main dinosaurs that were out to eat people. Rexy even chases a car and bashes through a tree to get to Malcolm and the others. And it's worth noting that this is a young Rexy that's a bit over 6 to 7 tons, so it makes sense that she is so much faster in this film compared to future iterations of it. Near the end, as the raptors are about to kill the main cast, Rexy swoops in to save the day in quotation marks as she kills the raptors, and does the iconic roar that has been extorted by way too many movies and games.
Was that real raptor? Was that raptor like, oh shit?
Roar that has been extorted by way too many movies and games. So the thing about the ending is that if the raptors were not there, she would most definitely have eaten a person. Rexy is in no means a hero because she has attempted to eat a person in every film, but she isn't a villain either by any caliber whatsoever. So you're probably wondering what she is then, and to be very honest, she's a neutral, just a natural force that doesn't discriminate, but she is smart enough to back away or form temporary alliances when it comes to her benefit. Rexy, if hungry, will 100% try to eat a person if she sees one, but won't go batshit crazy, except for the time she chased the car for people. Some of the other theropods, mainly the hybrids, well, the Scorpius and Indominus, because in my opinion the Indoraptor has his own reasons for why he does what he does, but that's for another video. The Indominus kills any large dinosaur in sight as a form of play for her without eating any.
I feel like that's kind of mean because you made a whole video justifying the Scorpius Rex, so I feel like that's kind of mean. You can justify the Indoraptor Scorpius Rex, but you can't justify the Indominus Rex. Because at the end of the day, as Owen said, you saw it even the first time, and what did humans do when they saw an animal for the first time? They killed it. Humans kill stuff when they're scared. Humans hunt stuff. Humans will kill stuff that gets in their way. So I feel like it's hypocritical to blame someone when...
And the Scorpius kills as many dinosaurs as possible in its vision because it's either overstimulated or can't control itself. Rexy, on the other hand, only eats out of a need for survival. If she kills something of adequate size that can feed her, she eats that alone instead of killing everything else in sight. The closest act of actual heroism I have seen from Rexy, in a sense, is, as I said before,
She looks so derpy in that frame. Like, you ever realize how derpy Rexy looks? I'm not trying to say her, but she looks derpy, right?
forming an alliance with Blue, and not trying to kill Blue after the fight with the hybrid despite her being a known raptor killer, but to be fair, she was probably just way too tired for any more beef. One of the other main things that makes people call Rexy a hero is the cinematic dinosaur fights she does with other large theropods. Most people think that Rexy is this savior that's out fighting these other dinosaurs for a greater cause or something, when in truth she doesn't give a damn about anything other than her own survival. The reason Rexy rushes in and fights things such as the Indominus is because of the same reason many other extant predators fight each other, for territory and resources. Rexy viewed the Indominus as a rival in her territory that would possibly compete for food and other resources, while the Indominus, with her inexperience and relatively young age since she wasn't fully grown, saw Rexy as an obstacle that would spoil her fun.
Alright, but would you guys ever want to see a full-grown Indominus fight a full-grown T-Rex? Yes. I know a T-Rex is getting absolute butchered, but comment down below. I would love to see your opinions. Another
small thing I noticed is people calling Rexy a veteran, and I agree that she has a lot of experience in terms of fighting things such as raptors and bringing down bigger things such as hadrosaurs, but just like the Indominus, that was her first time fighting an actual theropod her size, unless we count the prologue scene in Dominion, but I don't think that was Rexy. The reason I say this is because the next time she meets a large carnivore, being Zeb, she doesn't fight as hard as she did with the Indominus most likely, because she didn't want to be roughed up to that extent in the first film, and a deer carcass wasn't worth the fight.
There's actually a video about why the Gigan isn't evil, so, you know, you might see her.
Anyway, she does end up fighting Zeb near the ending of the movie, and I think this mostly had to do with food resources becoming too low, and neither of them finding enough food because, let's be honest, the prey in that area is too small or too fast to catch. So they battle it out for the last time, where again Rexy requires an ally to save.
Look, I know I don't say it, but I do like the scene. I think it's cinematic and all, but I just don't like it because I feel like the Gigan was basically being jumped. I mean, like, is the Gigan a bully and an old person abuser? Yes. But why can't you say the same about Rexy, huh?
Help her defeat the villain.
Conditioner dragging you down? Say no more. New Pantene conditioner for weightless repair. 95% of users love it, and you will too. The new Pro V formula absorbs quickly to repair hair without the weigh down. It's so lightweight you can leave it in, so you can use it at every wash. Healthy hair never felt so lightweight. Discover the full collection.
When it's time to start your business, it's time for Shopify. Designed with easy to customize.
I want to say I'm really glad.
Everywhere people.
The Giga, by the way, isn't even a villain. He is another neutral who just behaves
she's another neutral.
like a normal animal. And just like with Blue, Rexy recognized the Therizinosaurus as an accomplice in the moment, and they went their separate ways. The latest movie honestly did the Giganotosaurus dirty, with the way he was treated and killed. I mean, bro got double teamed in what was supposed to be a fair 1v1. Even the producers tried to make this guy seem as evil as possible by calling him Joker when he is literally the opposite of that. The only dinosaurs I can consider true heroes in my book are Blue and Bumpy. Blue has killed people, yes, but bad ones. And even if you argue that she still killed people, she more than made up for it by risking the lives of her entire pack and her own.
Personally, I find Bumpy the true hero.
To defend Owen and the others, instead of killing them like the Indominus wanted. Then in the second movie, she risked her life once again fighting.
People could say, oh, that's mean, why would you say that?
The hybrid that
if vegans can say fuck humans because we eat meat, I feel like I should have the same right to say I don't like Blue because she kills and eats people. I feel like, that's in my rights of being a Jurassic Park fan. So yeah, Bumpy's my favorite dinosaur personally.
Past her in every single stat, except for speed and agility. Hell, she even learns to put trust in people, as she did with Owen, who promised her that he would bring Beta back, who was her daughter. And this makes sense since Blue was raised by Owen, since she was a hatchling, and was kind of given special priority over the others being Delta, Charlie, and Echo. Bumpy is another hero. She fought a Carnotaurus to save Ben, and in Chaos Theory she is willing to take on raptors, while Ben and the others escaped, which is honestly noble in my opinion, because she basically said, get out of here, I'll hold them off so you can get away. And she has an even more close bond with people than Blue, especially with Ben and Sammy, but granted she is a herbivore, so she would naturally be less aggressive than Blue. So in the end, I think we all can all agree that Rexy is not some hero who comes to save the day whenever there is another big predatory dinosaur. But she also isn't a villain who does things out of malicious intent. She is simply an animal trying to survive. If the opportunity to have a meal comes up, then she will most definitely take it, be it people or other dinosaurs. And she only fights theropods for territorial reasons. Only others of her own species she will seem to tolerate, as we see in the end of Dominion. And there are also some other dinosaurs who are not villains, such as Zeb, who like
That's how I personally feel about Rexy being like, what's supposed to say to me, oh, she's a lot like Godzilla. And, hate me if you want, but I'm gonna say it. Godzilla, there's a reason people call him a god. He has the right to be called a god. He's existed for thousands of eons. He's saved the world millions of times, and he has powers. Rexy, she's not a real T-Rex. She has so many downsides, and she's not even in the new movie because they want to make a new T-Rex more paleontology accurate. So, really, which one of these are more, oh my god, Rexy's such a spirit of nature. She's the spirit of science, of playing God, of, she's a monster. She's not a real T-Rex. And there's a fear Jurassic Park's gonna have naturally spawned in dinosaurs, and I want to say that, a real T-Rex, and what a real T-Rex can be. Because for me, I will never see Rexy as anything other than just false T-Rex, because that's who Rexy is for me personally, because she's not a T-Rex. They're not birds, they're not dinosaurs, they're monsters. That's how I feel about it.
He was just trying to survive, and the Spinosaurus who went through hell.
I had a theory about Jurassic Park 3. What did Alan Grant say? No force on heaven or earth. But he never said no force on hell. And hell, money is the root of all evil, and what we'll say the devil bribes you with money. So, could the guy from Jurassic Park 3 be the devil? You never know. excuse me, what the actual fuck? The theory is, Alan Graham said no force on earth or heaven. He never said no force on hell would manipulate him.
Has a deep hatred for people because of what they did to him. If you want, you can see this video for an in-depth analysis of his miserable life. So that's just going to be it for this video. I know it's a bit shorter compared to most of my other videos, but the future videos after this should return to the normal duration I usually make. In my most recent poll, the Giganotosaurus won, so I'm going to be posting that video this week along with one other Saturday. Again, guys, give any interesting suggestions for dinosaurs I could do in my future strongest.
Personally, I do agree with that. I don't believe Rexy is a spirit or a goddess or whatever you want to call her. I see Rexy as a machine. I see her as a tool meant to be used for money. Because that's what Rexy was. I mean, look at this.
What?
That's Rexy.
Rexy.
That's Rexy. She's nothing but a prophet.
Yes, but that's the real world. Anything's great for money.
I mean, in war. In war, she's a theme park. I don't see her as a real hero. The reason Godzilla. The reason Godzilla.
You go into murky waters there, pal.
The reason
Spider-Man went on TV shows before he became Spider-Man, but you're not gonna say Spider-Man isn't a real hero because he cared about his presence.
Well, that was the whole point. Spider-Man wasn't a real hero, but he learned to be a hero.
So why can't Rexy, huh?
Well, the whole point of series. Okay, James, please. Oh, I really want to talk to you.
Okay, pause for a second.
Please,
just pause for 1 second.
Okay, come on, guys.
In media videos, because I'm not going to lie, I'm quickly running out of dinosaurs that are shown enough in cinema or media in general for me to make a video on them. Now that's out of the way, don't forget to like and subscribe, since your support really does help the channel. With that said, I'll see you next time.
I'm a medical student. All I do is studies.
So you should check Whisperer out. But I do have
I use Grammarly for
YouTube channel, and I'll show you it here. Looking at shorts here. I'm not a big fan of how he's like, oh, dinosaurs are animals, we're not monsters, and then he posts videos like this. Now look, I'm fine with this, but it just feels a bit hypocritical. Now this isn't hypocritical.
Fun fact, the carnivores can camouflage to sneak up on prey. Prey like you.
See what I mean? It's so damn creepy. And you're trying to say they're not evil. You know, you shouldn't be a hypocrite. So yeah, we might need to see low tier to go tier. Well, bye guys. Comment down below if you guys would want me to see more of those guys' videos. And, seriously, thank you guys. Thank you guys for 101 subscribers. I'm really grateful and I can't wait to make more videos for you all. Thank you. And let's hope we can get another 100. I love you. And thank you.